again, for the third time, I want to ask this question from you, and I'm really curious if you're going to answer this one or not. Biden and Harris don't seem to be giving you any support, okay? Trump, right now, a lot of the polls on the battleground states say Trump's going to be winning. Of course, nobody knows till November 5th. If he wins Georgia and Pennsylvania, it's over with. What is your plan and Edmundo's plan to be able to create some alliances so you can do actually what you want to do so the people of Venezuela will be free?
Well, as I said before, this has been a comprehensive strategy. We certainly need international support. This is something I've said for years.
I agree.
Precisely for what you say, because this is an international geopolitical crisis. And it is obvious that these other actors want to use Venezuela as a proxy to destabilize the United States. I mean, I've said this for years, but at the same time, we believe that inside Venezuela, there has a big fight to be given, and that's precisely what we did. And today, it's not the same country as 5 years ago, not even as 5 months ago, Patrick. I mean, we've never had what we have today, because if we had had minimal competitive conditions, this election would have ended 90-10, okay? So we have 90% of the population, which is also the proportion that you see in organizations such as police or the army. I mean, that is also true. The fact that we collected the tallies the day of the election is because we had the cooperation of the army that was deployed all over the country. So this has to be taken in account. It's not the same country, and it's not the same regime. As I mentioned before, these guys have been weakened and losing support from within and from abroad. And certainly I think that even though they have the support of Putin and Iran, those two countries have their own conflicts on their own going on right now. So they don't have that much support to give to Maduro right now. So if we move ahead, and I do think the international community and this administration can move forward, there are initiatives, bipartisan initiatives in Congress. And we have managed to maintain that support on both parties because Venezuela is an issue of national security for the United States. So I think this is a moment, and I wanted to convey this at this point because I really need to reach to both campaigns. And I really expect much more from both candidates in terms of what can be done as soon as the election takes part. I don't think we need to wait until January, frankly, because this is the moment. Remember that by our constitution, the president-elect should take office and be sworn in on January 10th. So we do have a window of opportunity. We cannot ask ourselves, what are we going to do if Maduro stays in power by force? The question should be, what can we do now to stop him from doing it and have the legitimate president-elect takes office? And one of the things we are asking the current administration and Congress is to recognize Edmundo Gonzalez as president-elect, which he is.
So let me ask you, can you leave the country right now?
I've been banned from leaving Venezuela for over 10 years. And right now...
There is no way for you to leave?
Could be very, very dangerous.
Can I say why if you don't leave? I don't think anything's going to happen if you stay. And please, I could be wrong, but I'm just challenging you. We're having a conversation. You could say you don't know what you're talking about. I'm comfortable with that. I'm a grown man. I'm okay with that.
You're not the first person who says that, but I believe that I'm most useful for this cause in here.
I don't know about that,
people.
and I'll give you an idea why I don't think that's the case. Here's why I think. I think if I were your campaign strategist and I'm close to you, I'm your brother, I'm your husband, I'm your son, I'm your best friend, I'm your number one person you trust the most, I would say, Maria, you speak very good on camera, you're a very good communicator, you're very pleasant in the way you speak, you don't speak like some other people that don't know how to communicate. No wonder you do very well because your message is crisp. The way you communicate is money. It's clear. It's very clear for me to understand what you're saying and the audience to understand. I think if there's one thing that Milei and Bukele did right, They went to all the media platforms and sold everybody why they should care about Argentina. That's what Milei did. That's what Bukele did. And then we're like, why should I care about Argentina? Who is this guy? He looks like a rock star kissing girls, doing all this stuff. Who's this guy all about? And it was like, wow. This guy's got the brass to go to World Economic Forum and give that kind of a speech. This guy's got the kind of in America we say balls, but maybe it's different words in different countries. He's got that kind of brass to go and talk to all these guys and tell them why capitalism the best system. He's that guy. And, I think for you, if you stay there, less likely it's going to happen. I think I would advise to leave and go elsewhere and just hit the road show, expose every single thing about all these guys. Matter of fact, I got to... do you have a close relationship? Do you communicate with Milei or Bukele at all? Is there any relationship with those two?
I'm in front of Milei. Okay. I don't know Bukele.
Okay. So Milei, when I think about what I mean, I've been to Argentina and the people eventually got to a point.
Yes, Patrick, but it's a very different situation. Look at this. They could go out and do the road show and then they come back. And they do the fighting inside. That's not my case. If I go out, I cannot come back.
Yes, you can.
And I will be detained.
No, but let me give you an idea, though.
Well, I'm accused of terrorism. Maduro is searching for me. They said Gustavo Cabello, whom you mentioned.
Yeah. They
say they are looking for me. They will find me, and I don't know what they will do if they do find me. But in any case, I think it is very important to get the international community engaged. And I think we are doing that also with the participation of, as you mentioned, almost 8 million Venezuelans that are doing a great job reaching out. And but at the same time, we need to maintain the will to fight and our people organized within Venezuela.
I think
González was able to leave, so he's not run. Go ahead.
So he's not in Venezuela right now.
He was forced to leave. He was at an embassy. They had been protected by an embassy, and the regime put in place a very obscure operation, and he was forced to leave the country. But now he's acting, as you said. He's moving around right now in Europe. He's meeting with prime ministers. He's going to parliaments, and we are getting a lot of international support.